All right. How's it going, Muggs?
Good. How's everybody?
Good.
Hey, Mugsy. Good.
It is Monday, right?
It
It
is
is.
Monday.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. I'm tired of 2 weeks of Saturdays and Sundays.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Like it's. Yeah, I'm trying to get back in the flow of things. I don't know about you guys, but like the holidays and just I don't know what day it is, what time it is. So, good morning, Malia.
Exactly.
Yeah. Malia may not be here. So,
Good morning.
good morning. Good
Hey,
morning.
Leah.
No.
Hey.
So,
Sound
Leah
like you're
doesn't,
still asleep,
Leah
Melissa.
doesn't sound so enthusiastic.
it's early. Early.
Leah said morning, not good morning.
Fair statement. Fair. Give a few minutes. So, everybody have a good New Year's though.
Yes.
Debatable, but yeah, pretty
Debatable.
much.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm excited for 25, so I think it'll be good. So, all right. So I think we've got it's a minute into this, so I'm going to get rolling. I kind of want this. I wanted to. It's the new year. We've probably got goals, or maybe we don't. Maybe we want to make changes. Maybe we don't. But for me, that seems to be a hot topic right now. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about this morning was is how to make change in habits and some things that have really really helped me over the years. Things that I didn't come up with, things that mentors have told me, things that people have shared with me over the years that have really helped me make lasting changes that become habits. And so I just kind of want to go through the list with you guys. I've got some things I wanted to share, but I think the first thing that I would really recommend if you're deciding this new year, if you're deciding to make some changes or create some habits or whatever it is, make sure that change is something that you actually want. Right? Like make sure it's actually what you want your lifestyle to look like in the future. The best example I can give is that not so much anymore, but probably 2, 3, 4 years ago. I'm sure you guys have heard of that hustle culture, right? That social media post, like where I worked 120 hours this week or whatever it is, that top producer or elite performer or whatever it is, right? And so a lot of people decided, hey, I want to do that, right? I want to just become this machine that does nothing but work and works long hours or what have you. But if sometimes when we set goals like that, it's not something that we actually want, because a lot of us don't want to dedicate 120, 150 hours a week into something when we'd much rather be spending time with friends and family. We'd much rather have a better work-life balance, And so for me, getting really, really clear on what you actually want, what your change, if you're going to make a change, be certain that the change is something that you actually want that's going to have the lifestyle you want. What that does is create leverage, right? It creates leverage for that change because then it changes from I want to do this to I need to do this, right? And for me, I've been going to the gym since high school. Right. So I've constantly been in the gym, some form or fashion of some type of way. But the funny story is that was not by choice. Right. I did not want to be this workout guy. I did not want to be this active lifestyle. I love sports. Right. Absolutely love sports. Love playing baseball, basketball, all the fun stuff. But I was constantly hurting my back, like constantly. And so went to the doctor. What I found out I had scoliosis, right? And so the chiropractor and the doctor actually told me, like, look, you've got to, if you're going to continue to do these things, if this is something you actually want, you've got to change like your workout routine. You've got to build the core muscles to enable to do this. And so to me, that change, there was so much leverage with that change that I wanted to make. It wasn't a want, it was a necessity. And for me, even now with the gym and the active lifestyle, it's because I want kids, and when my kids get older, I want to be able to throw baseballs with them. I want to be able to kick the soccer ball around. I want to be, if they want to go hike for miles, I want to be able to do that. And so for me, going back to when you pick the change or you pick the habit you want to implement this year, or if you want to make a change, just make sure that it's something that you actually want to do, that the outcome produces a lifestyle that you want to live daily. That's the most important thing, because when you do that, again, it just creates so much leverage because it changed from a want to a need. right? I need to do this. The second thing is treat change and treat new habits and new things you're going to do as a marathon, not a sprint. Okay. Like give yourself an opportunity to kind of get the ball rolling. True change is something that is absolutely transformative, right? It's something that's unrecognizable once you do it, right? That's what a marathon is when you complete it, it's just like, can't believe you did that, right? And it takes time in order to do those things. I always kind of think of like a caterpillar for some reason when I think of change, just going back to like elementary school, like a caterpillar was crawling on plants or whatever, then eventually one day is flying around in the air. That's a pretty radical change, right? And so when the caterpillar goes into its cocoon or whatever, it takes on average, I think 5 to 21 days it spends in the cocoon, right? Which doesn't seem like a lot of time. But when you really put it into context, the average lifespan of a butterfly is about 3 to 9 months. So when it comes to the change that caterpillar made, it took a drastically long time in order to make that change. We've got to give ourselves opportunity to make those changes. We we can't try something for a week and say, oh my gosh, like I haven't seen the results I want, or I failed a little bit, or whatever it is. We've got to give ourselves time in order to do that. Now, sprinting in the metaphor for me is an adjustment, right? Sprinting is something, it's just you're correcting the course, right? Change is 180 degrees. It takes a minute to get that rolling. So treat whatever change, whatever habit you're trying to implement this year as a marathon. Treat it as a long-term process. The hardest part is showing up, right? Just try to show up. The third thing I've got is probably something that I struggled with the most, but is very, very true, is consistency is not perfection. Okay. Consistency, it's not perfection. To the best definition of consistency I've heard is it's more often than not. Okay. That's really what consistency is, because a lot of times we think consistency is doing the same thing daily, the same thing over and over again, and being just repeatable like a machine. But that's not how life works. Your elite Olympic athletes, they probably have the best workout plan, the best nutrition plan, the best whatever it is, the best performance plan out there, right? But I've seen them eat cheeseburgers before. I've seen it on TV before. They probably spend time with family. They probably take breaks. They probably don't do the 100% job day in and day out. Your top performers from CEOs, right? They don't perform at 100% of their potential every single day. They have off days just like we do. The difference is what makes them elite, what makes them performers is more often than not, they do perform. More often than not, I do go to the gym. I don't do it daily. But more often than not, we do lead generate. More often than not, we make whatever change we want to make. That is the definition of consistency. Consistency is not perfection. And so that kind of like leads me right into the fourth thing I've got on making lasting change is be the cheerleader, not the critic, right? This is, I said the last one's the one thing I struggle with the most, but I'm extremely hard on myself, right? It is what it is, right? I have extreme accountability, right? But one of my first mentors, he kind of told me a story because I was like a closing or two short from a goal, and I was just really pissed about it. And so he says, okay, I want you to imagine that you have a child, right? And so I think we can all kind of place ourselves in this scenario. We imagine you have a child, and the child comes up to you after school one day and says, hey, I won the race today at PE. I won the race. How do we treat that child? Your probably exact words is, you did phenomenal. You're going to be great. You're so fast. You did the best thing ever, right? That's a very small task for a child, even in elementary, right? But a big deal for him, right? But we celebrate that, right? We don't immediately go to him and say, yeah, but you got a C in math. Yeah, but you failed your science project. Yeah, we don't beat them up. So, but what do we do to ourselves most of the time, right? Most of the time, we don't count our wins. We don't count the fact that we just saved this closing. We don't count the fact that we did actually follow up with that client. We don't count the fact that I did 5 mailers today. Oh, but if we did that, we beat ourselves up because we didn't do a social media post, right? So we want to treat ourselves like the way we treat other people, the way we treat children, our kids or whatever it is, because what it does is it reinforces that habit. It reinforces that good thing we did. Because otherwise, imagine if you had that child and he said, hey, I just won the race, and you treated him like that. He's probably not going to tell you anything good. He's probably not going to want to do anything good. He's probably not going to want to make changes. He's not going to want to push himself. And so we kind of get in that thought process of doing it with ourselves, at least for me anyway. I mean, you guys may not do that, but for me, that's something that I struggle with. But that if you can change your narrative from rewarding yourself when you do something, even the smallest thing, because big change is all small steps, right? That's really what it is. It's small steps, consistent period of time, right? And so if we can reward ourselves on that instead of beating ourselves up every turn we make or every step we take, like, we're going to want to do more of it. That's just the way it is. So another thing with that be a cheerleader, not a critic, is lean on each other. Like that's something that, have an accountability partner, have someone that you can vent to, have someone there. Like, I think we've got an office of some pretty phenomenal people, like an accountability partner of some sort. I think is a great thing, because more times than not, I think we're too hard on ourselves, right? We can't see the good, right? But other people can. Other people can celebrate us, and it makes it so much easier. Not only that, we get to do it for them as well. When they come to us and be like, man, I'm just struggling. It's like, oh, but you sent out all these mailers, or oh my gosh, your social media looks phenomenal compared to last week. I don't know what you're doing, but it looks good, right? We can do that for each other. So again, be the cheerleader, not the critic, right? When you do something small, reward yourself, because that is the real change. And finally, set a future time, whether it be a week, whether it be a month, whether it be every quarter, every 6 months, whatever it is, spend some time to reflect on what changes you've tried to make, or what changes you're attempting to accomplish, right? And when you do that, do it from a place of what you have accomplished first, right? Because going back to cheerleader, not critic, right? And I'm going to use a gym just because it's a super relatable thing for me, right? That's just a metaphor that I've used because it's something I struggle with, right? As far as like going from the afternoons to the morning, what have you. But when you do that, if you're really honest with yourself and you really take an account for everything, it's like, well, last week, I only made it to the gym once. Well, that's one more time than I did the entire last year. That's something to be celebrated, right? So when you choose to reflect and choose sometimes to really spread everything out, you should really focus on the wins that you're making, the step that you actually have made, not where you're failing, but it should bring a perspective of, oh my gosh, I'm actually moving the needle. I'm actually making progress. I'm actually changing. I'm actually implementing habits. It's something that's super effective if used in the right way. Right. So hopefully that was helpful. I want to keep this short and sweet to 15 minutes. But those are just some things that I have used and have heard and have been taught over the years that have really helped me implement lasting change. I think that's all I've got this week as far as what's on the agenda. Tomorrow's sales meeting is here in Montgomery. We're going to do market report. Carol's going to go over some procedures. And then also we're going to do what the rest of the time, we're going to do some broker roundtable, some open discussion on that. And then lastly, I do want to give one announcement. Now, I would like to start some type of book club. Okay. Now, I want to say, for one, this is not mandatory. Don't feel like you have to do this. I just think that it seems to be that everyone seems to want to learn, want to do it. I think as a group, I think it would be kind of going back to that accountability thing, or not accountability, but that partner. It's easier to do things together. Right. And so with that, I wanted to start some type of book club a month or whatever it is. And again, don't feel like you have to do it. If you don't want to read, don't do it. It's quite all right. This is just something that's an added value. If you want it, that's awesome. But the first book is Who Moved My Cheese? This will be the book of the month for January. I'll share a link. And at the end of the month, I figure we can all, we'll do a Monday morning huddle about what the book is, what we learned from it, what have you, and kind of share some ideas on that. But that's something we can start moving forward. So again, thanks for your time. I'll put the link for the book in the group chat. Does anybody have anything to add?
It's a short read too.
Yeah, it's 90 pages, and it has pictures, which is great. It's fantastic, right? Like, it has pictures for those that struggle. struggle.
I
You know,
need a lot of pictures.
yeah, exactly. We can, go on YouTube and listen to the 5-minute short version of it. I just thought it'd be something fun because I feel like, after talking with lots of different people, like on goals and what you want to do or whatever it is, I think books had a lot to do with it, like learning, or that there just seems to be like a common trait with all of us of wanting to kind of get better or whatever it is. I was like, me, Carol, Mom, Blake, and Dawn, Kennedy, all kind of were sat around, we're planning out the stuff for the year. And I kind of threw this out there. I was like, what do you think? And so we kind of decided together that like, we thought it would be a really cool idea. But this, again, 90 pages with pictures, very, very short read. What's up, Muggs? Yeah.
I will say I'm not a big reader, but me and the girls at the Home Builders, 2-3 years ago, we had our own little book club.
Yeah.
And in that time period, now that's when I was drinking. We had a lot of fun after reading. But it was really cool because it gave me kind of momentum to actually read, and it was actually a lot of fun. So
yeah.
We had a lot of different takes on that. We were reading not necessarily motivational books, but just books in general, and it was kind of fun to have a different opinion on what we thought about that character or this, and so I kind of like it because it gets kind of motivates you to get off your whatever and do some reading.
Yeah. Replace it. Like I'm bad about like mindless scrolling on YouTube or whatever it is. So but I just thought I thought it'd be a fun thing. And you're right. Like it's not just it's something fun to do. Like that's really what it is. So Carol, were you going to say something?
Yeah, just a quick reminder. We had the revised forms come out from AAR last week. If you haven't had a chance to go on the alabamarealtors.com website and look at those, she does a little video for every change. So like on I think it's the listing agreement or maybe it's the first form that comes up. There's like 4 videos highlighting exactly what was changed and what was altered on the thing. They're just simple, short little 2 or 3 minute videos. If you have a chance, go and check out the sales contract and the listing agreement and the buyer's agency agreement. Those are really the 3 important ones. We're trying to get lined up with Jamie from AAR, the attorney, to come and talk to our group. They're super busy this month, so it may be in February before we get her in. The board should be offering some training on the new forms and the changes. So keep a lookout for those, and there might be some online versions of that, but we're working really hard to get these issues with the forms straightened out. There'll continue to be changes just as NAR makes their changes. So I'm chairing the forms committee this year. So if you have any further concerns about the forms, please feel free to reach out to me. Just shoot me an email. We'll be meeting pretty soon to start working on new changes.
Real quick question. Every time they change the forms, do we need to get our buyers or sellers to re-sign the forms?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No, but I think you'll find that the changes that they've made have been simplified somewhat. I still think there's some areas we can make some improvements. If anybody has seen an ARC Realty contract, I really like their contract. It's very simplified. I sent it over to Jamie about a month ago and said, hey, this is kind of where we need to focus, where we can get on our state form. So anyway.
Did they make some of those changes?
Yes,
based on
they have made some of those changes, yeah.
Good, okay, because I haven't looked at all of them, okay.
Yeah, but if you have a chance, log in and do those little videos. She highlights specifically the changes that have been made, and I think what they've done is pretty helpful so far.
Good deal.
Okay?
Okay.
And we'll talk more about that tomorrow, okay?
No. Kim, I saw you unmute. Kim, did you have anything to add?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah. So I was trying to make sure everybody got hit. So yeah. Anybody else? All right. You guys have a great day. Thanks for signing on. So.
Happy Monday.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.